Hey, everybody, it's Kiki. I just wanted to give a brief introduction to my first bonus episode where I sit down with my partners from EXPO Collective, Roho Garcia, who you heard from one on one in episode 3, and Ricardo Gonzalez, who is a future guest. I hope you enjoy. Cheese pizza. All right. Did you guys think about 2013?
Only a little bit, because I was driving when you sent that message, and
Rojo, it was more for you.
I was working. I thought it was about the year, stuff that happened in that year. I don't recall until somebody brings up what was going on, and then that's when my brain kicks in. So that's gonna be difficult for me. Until somebody brings it up, I'm like, oh, okay, I know exactly what happened. But somebody has to get it started.
I thought of like our first exhibit.
Oh, can I look at photos? Can
Okay.
I cheat?
Yeah, of
Look at
course.
2013
That's not
and
cheating.
see-
That's remembering.
Yeah, I thought of like our first art exhibit. But it's like when you think of forming, like there's like a whole before and all,
There was a whole thing.
Yeah, there's a whole like the road to it
Yeah.
and being on it,
And so I was trying to think of like the best way to start it off. And when I was talking to Rojo initially about it, I was like, well, let's start when I met you guys. Because I feel like that was kind of like the inception of just building something, just knowing each other, right? And being part of the same community in Pilsen, because that's where we all were. So yeah.
I don't remember exactly what year I met you though.
Talking
It had
about
to
the
have
last
been,
time.
yeah.
How you guys?
Well,
I know like meeting up and then everything.
I want to say it was 2012 because I was at Extra
Okay.
when I met you
Yeah.
through Hasso.
I feel like it was even before, but so within 1 year we went from buddies to expo. I think it was more than that.
So was it 2011?
Maybe.
See, this is where I have a really hard problem, like identifying where I was.
I mean, maybe you're right. I don't know. It surprises me that probably within a 1 year window of being your friend to being an expo. I never thought about that.
I want to say, I know, I'm like, where was I? So 2008, I was at Café. 2009, I was still at Café. 2010,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, from Pink to Blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
2010, where was I? After Café. That was when I was working on Arte Futbol, like that
Yeah, I
whole
remember.
thing.
Yeah.
That was when I met you guys then. So 2010, 2011. It had to have been around then.
I don't know if I don't know that I remember you exactly from that event.
Because I met Rojo at the event.
Yeah.
And
I thought you were a part of it, but you weren't.
I was.
You were.
I was an
Okay.
organizer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
And so I met Rojo at that event.
Yeah.
And then when I started talking to him, because I wanted to meet you.
Because I know I went to it, but I didn't last too long because it was kind of small and I just didn't know anybody. So I was like, well.
Yeah. And I had seen, and you already knew Laura,
Yeah.
because I was at the paper and I had seen your artwork. And that's when I was like, who is this artist? Like, I want to meet him. And that's when Laura told me, oh, that's Ricardo Gonzalez, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I met Rojo and he was like, oh, I teach with him. And I was like, I have to meet this guy. And then I went to Mole de Mayo.
Oh yeah.
And that was when we were under the tent. And it was hot as Hades. It was so hot. And we're in the middle of that empty lot on Peoria and 18th.
Yeah.
And you guys were underneath the tent. And I just remember Rick being like, come sit down. And that's when I met you, for the first time.
I remember I forgot that was when we first met. I just have these memories of meeting you up either at the coffee shop or for the interview that you were doing for.
But that was after because like I told Rojo, it was one day, don't ask me when, that we had already had bumped into each other, bonded over Jameson or had that conversation.
Yeah. I remember like chatting with you.
Yeah, because I was like, I want to be your
Facebook
friend.
or something. And like I think like you would sometimes like write up these like kind of like thought-provoking questions.
Uh-huh.
And like I would answer because I was like, I thought you had cool questions.
I had to mute my stuff. Oh my God. But yeah, and so I remember I was brushing my teeth, Rick. I was brushing my teeth and I was like, I want to meet, or I want to be friends with, because I already had known you.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's when I was like, oh, let's meet up. And that's when I was writing 500 blogs
Yeah.
to launch latinodoctor.org.
Mm-hmm.
And that was ridiculous. But yeah, it was then.
Yeah, and like I think like before I knew what the word influencer meant, because it was a different time,
Mm-hmm.
you would write the way that I thought like just very thought provoking
Look at that.
things, you know.
Already
I
calling
always-
me an influencer.
I always thought
Feel
of
so
you
special.
as like a you know, some our early friendship and things, as like you were like an early 2010s influencer,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with like all the media that you were writing, and also the art exhibits, you know,
Yeah.
and then just being a connector of people.
Yeah.
And you know, stuff ebbs and flows because of life responsibilities, but those are some of my biggest memories.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I met you up at Jackalope and we sat there for 8 hours. 8 hours. We were there all day.
Yeah.
And you were doing research for something
And
you were
something
working on.
art-related.
And I was writing, again, 500 blogs
Yeah.
in a month to launch this stupid website that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. We would also do that at Katrina Cafe.
Yep. At the
That was
Katrina.
your artist residency.
Yeah. So then we already knew each other. You guys were teaching together.
Yeah.
And so what year did you start teaching
I
together?
feel like it was probably like winter when it turned about 2011 when we started at.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I know
It was only
because
a few years prior
because
to meeting them.
I left a full-time
Mhm.
office job
Mhm.
to become an
Mm.
artist, and over the span of the summer, I had no real big job leads. I was working on a mural, and then a friend had told me about like an opportunity, like doing an art class.
Mm-hmm.
And then like as she was leaving because she was gonna go do something else, she asked like if I wanted to check it out, see if it was something that I might be interested in. And I remember meeting Roho there,
Mm-hmm.
or because I knew Roho from art school. But also just kind of more like, oh, it's like an art peer, but we weren't actually in classes together.
Mm-hmm.
But then like having to meet him and get to work with him, then yeah, you know.
Yeah, and then same. I took
Move it over.
over.
Just move it over.
I took over my friend's who was leaving. Same thing from African Matters. She was
Mhm.
leaving, and I was her boyfriend was a friend of Jordan.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
back in the day, and yeah, that's when we connected. I was like, I know this guy. I don't know him, but I know him.
So then it had to have been 2012 to 2013.
yeah.
It had to have been.
When we
Because you guys already had been teaching
When
by
we
the
had-
time I met you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So then it was 2012. And then 2013 comes around and
yeah.
what was it? Oh, I had, so Café had closed, the magazine.
Yeah.
And people picked me up as like a freelance writer. They wanted me to be involved in their website development, whatever. And so Amor Montes de
Oh,
Oca
yeah.
from Arte y Vida,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's the one that kind of got me into the event space, and that's when Arte de Futbol came up, and I gave it the name. That was my
awesome.
idea. And that's when I realized like, oh, there's something to this art stuff. And I started interviewing and talking to artists, and I think both of you, right? Didn't I interview both of you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had done a little series, the two of you and Hasso, and I
Yeah.
wanted to talk to Pablo because Pablo Serrano was
Oh yeah.
another new being that like, you know, was on the scene and in the community.
Yeah.
And it was then that somebody, and I forget who. I'm gonna cut this out because it's so funny, but it's the koala. Remember? What's his name?
I don't remember that dude's name. I remember the description of koala. Was it some guy that
I called him a koala.
at Blue?
And he was at Blue 1647. He was, remember?
I remember you calling somebody.
It was like
And
a-
I said he wanted to be cool. And I just
Yeah.
remember him being so awkward around Roho because,
he seemed to always gravitate
yes,
towards
to
Roho, right?
Roho and like try and impress him or like say, and I was like, he wants to be cool. And he reminded me,
Was it,
no, he was Latino.
Oh, okay.
And he reminded me of a koala. Like he was shaped like
You just look like
koala. Anyway, I mean, thank you, dude, for thinking of me, because he was the one that was like, there's this incubation center on Blue Island in Pilsen, and they want to bring artists in. And I was like, what does that mean? He's like, I don't know. So I got to sit down and meet with Emil, and that was when I first met Emil Cambry at Blue 1647. And he was like, I just want artists to come in. He's like, I don't care what it is, just like networking, event. And I was like, what about exhibitions? He was like, yeah, like that would be cool. Like maybe put paintings on the wall and just bring life to the joint, right?
Yeah. And
that's when I was like, sure, I'll get my team on it. Like, I literally, it just popped out of my mouth. And I was like, what team? You don't got a team? What
That's when the best stuff happens.
Yeah. I don't have a team. And I just remember going home and being like, this is a great opportunity to like make something happen. Who am I going to go to? And I had met both of you around the same time. And I was like, they teach. They're dependable. Like, I'm like, why not pitch this to like, okay, this is a space to create something, right? And so I kind of want to take it from there, because I don't think I've ever asked you guys like what your initial thoughts were when I came to you and said like, hey, we have a space to do whatever we want in. And why did you trust me?
Who is this girl? Why does she keep bugging us?
What was I mean, why did I trust? That's easy to answer. But what was the first part of the question?
Just like, what were your initial thoughts? Like, what did you think when I said, oh, we have this opportunity, they have this space, we could potentially do something with it?
Yeah, I think it's been a long time, but I more than likely was just really excited for like getting an opportunity to be able to host or be part of like a studio space that could be somewhat of a home to us. I knew it was like temporary and it was only on occasions, but I just saw it as like a great opportunity to be a little more involved, kind of having a little bit of a small home base. And why do it? Because you're a friend. And cool. Getting along with a friend, you know, so that was like a huge thing for me. So it's like awesome opportunity to be creative, and then working there with your friend. Pretty easy to jump into. Yeah,
for sure.
I'd say pretty much the same.
Pull it over.
I think because Pilsen was such a thriving melting pot of different type of artists, and I think it excited me as well. The idea, the challenge part of it was like, it scared me, but it was a good scare. I was like, okay, this could be dope, depending on how we do it and structure it. I think knowing you a little bit, business side of you and everything, how professional you were, I'm like, if anyone's gonna put it together and keep it together, it's gonna be you. So I thought that's what, from what I recollect, how I kind of felt at that point in time. Yeah. So I think, besides Expo and stuff, besides doing murals and stuff, I cheated, but we did a mural in Pilsen right before that all kicked off. Yeah, so I'm like,
I remember going and taking pictures and like hanging out with you guys as you were painting. That was.
I forgot when exactly. Yeah, right before. Like in the timeline within our Expo timeline. But yeah, I think also like I know like I had been doing a lot of like art exhibits, pop-up art exhibits with other groups like Little Village Art Festival, and also just whenever I had a chance. So to me, it was just like I had already been doing similar things, but more as like one-offs, because it wasn't like a promised home to me. So just that, again, going back to like just an exciting opportunity to be able to do a little bit more steady.
Wait, Rick,
Oh, sorry.
Even before Expo, I just remembered when you said Little Village, the skate shop.
Yeah.
And
that was pre-Expo.
That was pre-Expo, and that was our first show. Like you were, Roho was a DJ.
Okay. Yeah, Roho was
Rick, Hassel, and Matthew were showcasing.
at the
and
skate shop.
and at the skate shop, and I just remember we had beer
Sponsored by
donated.
Lagunitas or something?
No,
Indio.
Indio.
Oh, Indio.
Indio
Okay. It was
beer.
sponsored, I remember
It was
that.
hot.
It was so hot in there.
Oh my god.
The walls were
It
sweating.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had Indio beer. We had food.
We had
La
food.
Chiquita. Because I was like, we have to have something.
Yeah.
And I just remember we had 3 DJs.
Yeah.
Roho was one of the DJs with Sandra and Carlos Hidalgo. Yeah. And that was the first, and I think that if anything, that was a testament to what we could do.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we were excited, even more excited to be able to have a space and to be able to like repeat what we had done in Little Village.
Yeah. That event. Yeah.
That's exactly.
I forgot all about that.
That was pre-Expo.
Yeah, but like, yeah, having like from my own experience, like having been in like a bunch of different art exhibits at like these pop-ups, some of they all had varying results, but in many of them, I didn't have necessarily as much. I wasn't able to really curate as much, or maybe have as much like art direction or something like that. It's just as far as like what the themes could be, or outreach and things like that. So again, like going back to like why being excited for like Expo, and like just our initial starting off at 1647 was like, because I was like, finally, like I can actually like think a little bit more on like how to develop an idea or an event, something a little bit more specific. So it's just like anything else, there would always be some challenges, whatever the parameters could be. But I was just so enthusiastic because it was just like, well, I also know what it's like to hang up my artwork at a skate shop or an ice cream shop or, whatever place where you might not have a lot of control of things. And you're just like at the mercy of a tiny little space on the wall that people may or may not be able to see. But like, I was always happy to participate in events like that. But it just, I dreamed of what if more?
Yeah. Yeah. And so we had our first events in October. It was during...
what was at the time, there was also Chicago Artist Month.
Yeah.
But also Pilsen Open Studios.
Open Studios. And that's why we started then.
Yeah.
And it was from pink to blue. I totally forgot about that show. And that was basically talking about the train system, right? Like from pink line to blue line, and we're right off the pink line.
Yeah. And it was at the blue 1647.
And it was at blue 1647. Yeah. And I think we got really creative with the shows that we developed. Yeah. And I just remember having so many artists. Like we were doing shows with upwards of like 15 artists at a time.
Yeah.
Do either of you have a favorite show?
I'm trying to think. I think if I go with my gut, just favorites because of subject matter, I like the comic book show.
Yeah.
But also there was one, I forget, I feel like it was, the
EXPO
Illustrated.
Yeah.
And it was just because I got to see something a little different. Was I forget the actual. Feds was there, and he had a bunch of his little characters, his little sculpted characters, and again, this is just like trying to be sincere with the question of like if you had I was like, it was just cool to see those in person.
Yeah.
It was just really cool to see those in person because like I just wasn't able to see them usually otherwise. But I mean, there's so many cool artists.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I think the most memorable one is probably like the Virgen de Guadalupe show.
Oh yeah.
Because that was the first time that we had a lot of people. Like folks came out for that.
Yeah.
And folks wanted to perform for that. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
And we also had a sponsorship. Didn't Vocalo sponsor that one? I want to say.
I don't actually remember. I know that they were involved in
probably promoting
at least
it.
One or two of our events.
Oh yeah, they were. But that Virgen de Guadalupe show was like eye-opening in a way because it was like I knew what we were doing with the show and like how we described it, but I don't think I knew what I was going to see.
Yeah.
And it was incredible to see like everybody's different depiction, whether they were religious or not. Like you had atheist artists who were like creating this because of the culture. And I was like, this is awesome. You know, it was very cool to see this interpretation of something so, what's the word I want to say? Like it's such an iconic figure for our culture and who we are, but to see it, you know, in all these different renditions and what people thought of her, right, was interesting to see.
Yeah, and I think like even compared to like a lot of our exhibitions, like 'cause they were usually very broad and open-ended. You know, some of them literally could be a comic book, you know, or one, you know, our first one was about, you know, pink to blue, however you interpret that. So they were very broad. So I think that was probably one of our first, if only, like that was very centered on our culture. So it was somewhat of a different approach because we were like, hey, kind of we're open to everyone trying to you know, express themselves however they see. But yeah, you know, touching on an iconic figure, that was really, it was really inspiring.
Roho, do you have a favorite show?
I was kind of looking through.
You could leave it right. You could leave it right there. And it's perfect. Yeah.
No, I go back to Quetzal.
Yeah.
I like that because it was outdoor.
that's
okay. So you're talking about the other show. Okay. I mean, when you're listening to the Virgen show, I'm thinking of the walls that my dad and I made for the show.
Yes, talk about that a little bit.
So I liked that aspect. I still like, you know, spent a lot of time with my father creating these walls. They were made of iron and cast iron and wood.
Now, why did we need the walls?
Because Blue 1647 didn't have any walls to. Well, they did, but they frowned upon it. Besides the main entrance room or whatever, that main lobby.
And it was just a very large space.
Yeah, it was a humongous space, and those walls allowed us to kind of divide or, you know, showcase these illustrations and paintings the way we, you know, thought fit. And but it was a proud moment seeing all the wonderful artwork on those walls, and like these, you know, and knowing that we could use these walls later on for other future exhibitions and stuff was always great. But I'm trying to think of what obviously looking at the other shows. I don't know. This is why I hate my memory, but that's why I get excited when people bring up such, you know, when things happen. I'm like, oh, that did happen.
I'm trying to think of like the other shows that we did before, and I'm trying to think. The Brown Kids was another show that we did before.
Yep.
And that was Rodrigo's, Rodrigo's poem. And I remember
2014.
Yeah, I remember reading his poem and like crying and like hearing him recite it, and I was like, it was so moving. And
Came from, where did he come from? Like, Minnesota.
Yeah. And he came down for the exhibition, and we had every artist read and interpret the poem.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of the coolest, I think, shows that we did. And then we showed it at the Beverly Arts Center.
Oh, yeah.
Later that year. Yeah. So it's like we did some pretty amazing things. Like, and I feel like we got so good at putting up shows, like
and bringing them down,
right? Like
day,
8 hours up and down. One night only, right?
Early 30s. What? We're young buckaroos.
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean maybe just before that.
Yeah, up and down within the day, and we would do a lot of the open, like we did open studios, and we would do first Friday, second Fridays.
Second Fridays for Pilsen.
Maybe second Fridays.
And we did a couple of those. Obviously, I feel like if we had more wine, more people would have stopped over.
I mean, I think we usually had a pretty decent turnout.
Yeah.
But also, like, you know, like there's so many art events happening in like the Pilsen neighborhood.
At that time. But at that time, we were one of the first groups doing it outside of like specific gallery spaces.
Like at a pop-up. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we started getting into not just the group shows, but then individual shows, right? We had Yvette Mayorga.
Yeah, solo. Yeah.
And then we had Adrian. I forget his last name. Oh my goodness, why don't I remember his last name?
Art?
And it looked like space.
Yeah.
And then we had Max.
Yeah.
He did a photography exhibit. Yeah, so we had a lot of, I think we started moving into like the individual artists and trying to highlight people that we saw coming. And I remember going to Yvette's studio with you, Rick, to see her cakes. Those were incredible. I was like, this is fascinating interpretation of what you can make art.
Before Expo,
That was before Expo.
Yeah. But I remember that one. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it's weird now that that you asked that question about like even when we met each other to forming Expo, it's just like I feel like those years feel a lot longer in memory, but when you go back and just count, it's like not that.
No.
Of a short time.
I think because we were in it. We were like literally
we're so in it,
inundated with it all the time. Because it's like we all had those kind of like jobs where we had the freedom to be around each other all the time, you know?
Yeah.
So like whether it was us 8 hours at a cafe or I'm sitting with Roho at Blue until 12, midnight coming up with ideas and brainstorming.
Yeah.
We just had the freedom to do that. And so I remember we were on the train and I'm pretty sure we were going to River North to Capital One Cafe. Yeah. Because we did have a partnership with Capital One for a certain amount of time, which I feel like might have been just a couple of months, but we did so much.
Yeah.
And
the Cubs show, right?
Yeah, and I felt like the Red Line was my friend for a little bit, and I had never been on the Red Line as much as I was there. But I remember we're on the train and we're talking about patience and being impatient, like wanting things to happen, right? And I think it's so interesting now, right, to be where we are 10 years plus later.
Yeah.
And thinking about, and I started thinking about it. I was like, I remember talking about it. Like, the three of us were like, no, there's just so much to do. And I just want to get it done. There was like this drive to just like, no, we got to keep going. We got to keep going. And now in hindsight, how does that make you feel now? Right? Like so many years later, did you get done what you wanted to get done?
I think it varies because it's like whatever you might want to do now might not match exactly years past.
No, but what I'm saying is that from that time that we were so anxious to like do.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I'm going to say as an adult, I'm going to say, yes, we did enough.
Yeah, I think so.
But do you think that we did everything that we wanted to?
I think we did, well, for me personally, I did everything that I could do during that time with that type of energy, being a lot younger, a bit more thirsty, with, not only my own art stuff, but mostly the expo stuff. Putting up art shows, putting them down, meeting people, the word of community. Didn't really know what that meant until EXPO Collective, kicked off. So I think looking back, I think I did a lot with y'all and with the limited, capabilities that I had at the time and financials and all that stuff. But I think I snapped back in the day. I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean,
and we did a lot. We built things out of nothing.
Yeah.
We created amazing. We made magic happen. You know, for us being during that time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely everything that I felt like initially starting, just wanting to have access to a space where it could like exhibit more often or like steadily for an amount of time. And then just being able to work with multiple artists and like curate events. So basically gathering, artists or friends and working together to put together an art exhibit. That was really thrilling each time.
It was like also Christmas when everybody would bring in their artwork, even if it was
earlier.
still wet.
Christina always loved when artists would drop off their artwork.
Yeah.
It was like Christmas for you every day. And it was like, okay. I think as an artist, me, especially looking at the artwork, I'm looking at the brush strokes. I'm like, I see how they did that. Or how they would have blended here, whatever. And then I just, her smile was always humongous whenever, look at all this artwork and this and that. I'm over here like, we're going to hang this shit up. Because we got less than an hour to go. And, artists like to drop things off last minute,
Yeah.
And they were literally still wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I think also like when it got to the point of being able to exhibit and do projects outside of Blue 1647, that was also exciting too, because it was like kind of moving around and becoming mobile.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like from going to random pop up art exhibits, me personally, to like getting to work with you guys at Expo,
Mm-hmm.
having kind of like a hub of a home for a little while, and then moving on to now we're going mobile and going in different spots. Like, it was exciting to kind of keep growing and moving.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, I know, like, I usually, really kind of am a little bit more like to analyze and be methodical with how do I exhibit this, because I would think of like, what are my parameters?
Mm-hmm.
How can I make this like obtainable within this time span? That was a challenge, and and definitely that was something that I think probably helped like all of us really just be a little bit more adaptable and quick on our feet. I mean, I think you two are probably really good at that, but like I not as much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like having to be a little bit faster to move around ideas and how to actually arrange or organize all of these different events.
Mm-hmm.
But like just being grateful and excited to work with all our different artists too, because like like how you felt like it was like almost like Christmas morning. You're seeing all these different artworks. It was also just exciting to meet all those artists
Mm-hmm.
and get to work with them and develop relationships with them, and then just kind of seeing them go take off and do their own thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I think the last exhibit that we did wasn't necessarily an exhibit. It was the collaboration we did with the Miracle Center. I mean, it was an exhibit,
yeah.
but it was an auction,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so we had fan art,
Yeah.
and it was Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
You know, I still think about Hoser's piece. Like, I'm like, can you just redo it? Can you do another one? Because I let it go. No, Hoser's piece was his interpretation of the Beauty and the Beast, and it was a little girl, and she had her bulldog and a candelabra.
Yeah,
Oh my
God. Yeah.
It was so beautiful. And I wanted it. And he was like, yeah, all right. Like, I'll sell it to you. And then the dude from the Disney, he had like some Disney history. He was like an executive, of Disney's house in Hermosa.
Yeah.
And he saw it and he was like, oh my God. And I was like, you better jack that price up. And we ended up splitting. Like, we did 50-50 split with the artists and donated the rest to the Miracle Center during that time. But I think that was the last one that we did. And then we sat down at Jumping Bean, right? It was like around that time, and we got a storm coming in. It was nice.
The story's getting good.
I know. Woo. But we were at the Jumping Bean, and I think that's when I think it might have been the day of that show. It was a day of a show. We did something that day because we all got together and we got coffee and we're sitting there, and I was like, all right, so what's next? And that's when Roho was like, we go big or go home. And that was
because of all the stuff we've already done at that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it was Rojo's vision to do big things.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like walls, murals, bigger. The bigger, the better. Mm-hmm. And so that's when we started planning Quetzal.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Jumping Bean. Yeah, we said what's next.
I don't know if I was there.
You were there,
like you
Ricardo.
had been there, bro.
You were
I
there.
feel like I might have found out late.
No, we were all sitting there together.
This Jumping Bean's tiny.
Yeah, and we were sitting. We were sitting at one of the tables right in front of the counter. And that's when I was like, all right, so challenge. Like, what else? What else is there to do? Because we were getting so good at just like up and down. We had a collective. We had people to pick from. I mean, we had people teaching sip and paints. Like we had it. So we could do whatever we wanted. And it was literally, I felt like it was so magical because it was literally like, what's the idea and when are we going to make it happen? There was no question of if.
Yeah.
Because we always figured out how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So when, and that's the thing is like in hindsight, I don't remember saying no or thinking like it was too out of reach. And now I'm like,
But I think because we both have backgrounds in murals and building murals and stuff like that, I think that's what, in our eyes, I was like, well, it's very feasible to do something like that, especially knowing a few artists that were like graffiti writers or muralists. We're like, okay, that would be like the hard part would be like getting the walls or getting the money for supplies or whatever.
And that's where we got lucky.
But that's what, yes, that first one, man, we had some great support.
And I feel like I don't know if this is my own memory or not, but I felt like hearing about like Art Basel or like things in Miami, and, like seeing like how many people. I don't know. Did you?
We went.
I think about you. Yeah. And I was like, I felt like there had to be some inspiration. I was there.
You went with us, don't you remember?
But I feel like that was a little bit of inspiration too, of just like how big an art fair or fest could be, and you know, I know our own experience over here was like at that time, you know, it didn't seem like there was anything quite like that.
Yeah.
You know.
And then I found out about Expo Chicago, which to me felt almost inaccessible. Like you needed a ticket, you needed like it was a special, like you needed to spend big bucks if you wanted to go and see that artwork. So it was more of like a, I don't know, it was just unattainable. Like, or you needed some sort of like prestige to go and walk around and like potentially buy something in there.
Yeah. And also like I think another big difference, like Roho was saying, was like because of the mural aspect too, because I think that was like the big idea behind it initially, right? It was like doing a festival about murals. And I know there's like various, like I know there's like Meeting of Styles where it's like mostly like spray paint artists. But like, you know, ours was like, you know, temporary walls that could get installed at other places. And we were pretty open to materials, artists.
Yeah, and I think the genius was, I don't know who came up with it, but like donating the walls to have a specific place where they can live.
A home.
Like, yes, because we were always like, you can't even get away. You can't even give these away sometimes. Yeah. And I think that was like, whenever that came up, we're like, yes, like they have somewhere to live.
Yeah, and I think I started thinking about that because we're like, okay,
that was your idea.
Where did they go?
Because
I was like, where did they go after this? And what I had proposed to Luis Bermudez, I'm using all these names, and they're gonna love this. But Luis, who I still talk to, he was the one that I started talking to about it, and I was like, is there a way that we can donate them to nonprofits like that need color in their spaces? And that's when I paired up the artist with the nonprofit. And was like, okay, well, what you're going to create is going to go here. I don't know. Some of those walls probably just still sat in storage. I don't know, or a few of those. Some did get installed because I remember Roho was there to install them.
I remember a bunch of them that we did.
But I mean, I think about that first Quetzal Fest, and it was gorgeous. It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, we had like a little alley of like murals, and people could just walk in. Vocalo.
And our workshop space.
The workshops. And then Vocalo supported with DJs, so we had music, and we had an indoor spot to do because it was hot out, you know? And I just remember setting up that day, and Rojo and I are like, we met at 6 a.m., and we're like, we're going to change at some point. We're going to go home and shower and prep, and then we never did.
Never happened. We really thought we were going to have time.
And it was like, we're here, and people are here.
The only time I broke away was to go get a 6-pack or a beer, just to like, you know what, I'll be right back. And that was the only time I kind of split out of the But I think what helped was how close we had. Did you do those mini murals at that
Resurrection?
At the Resurrection?
Yeah.
So it helped so much that we were able to build it there and then just drag them out.
Yeah, pull them out.
It was, how else would we?
Because I feel like we had some kind of strategy breakdown the night before.
No, we didn't. You know what happened? It started raining.
Weren't we in that building like in dark or something?
Oh, because somebody was painting. Somebody was painting.
I mean, I might.
You probably were painting in there. Somebody was painting it because I had the lights. Like I had borrowed lights from my dad. We were in that storage.
It's
Yeah.
darkness and it's one light and
It's like
we're there.
Castlevania.
Yeah. and
and
that day, it was a day in June, right? June 13th was that? I think that was the first Quetzal.
But I remember it was like June, yeah.
And it started raining. And it was already like an hour away from when we were gonna end it and close it, and a downpour came, and we cleaned up in 45 minutes, and I could not believe it. I was like, it took us like 3 hours to drag out all these things and set it all up, and it was down in 45 minutes, and then we went to Rojo's place. Right? Is that the night that we went?
Yeah.
We all
took like an hour to chill, and then. Because my family was there chilling with me briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Because they came into town. And then as they left, I chilled with them for like maybe a half hour.
Yeah.
If that, an hour. And then that's when everybody, hey, coming over. It's okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I might have went somewhere to eat and then...
You did. You went
somewhere.
somewhere to eat because you went with Fatima and Francis.
Oh, okay.
And then you guys came over. Yeah, and then you guys came over after that, and we're all
You
there.
didn't have food, I could tell? No, ¿verdad? You just
No.
drinks? Just the...
Not even
water,
drinks.
energy
I think
drinks?
the Red Bull.
We had stacks of...
And then Red Bull got mad at us because we were putting water in the in the coolers, and they were supposed to just be Red Bulls, and we're like, people need water, not Red Bull.
It was hot. It was a hot day.
It was.
A hot day, yeah.
And we had those tabletops, and like I think they gave us a couple of umbrellas or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so. Yeah, and then we went, and that was like the beginning of Quetzal, and it was just, it was amazing to be able to pull it off and have the support. You know, Resurrection Project and Capital One came in to support as sponsors, and
I brought Darcy from Joliet.
Oh, that's right, the
was
truck.
A little truck. They gave us a couple $100, and they're like, "Can you just park the truck?" I'm like, "There's a spot right there. Go ahead and park that sucker." And
yeah.
I remember the fish.
Yeah, my cousin Johnny's fish.
Johnny's fish.
We brought it back. He went and picked it up, or was it the stand? I forget.
But I remember the stand and the fish. Yeah,
he was more concerned about how expensive and how much time consuming was to build the stand to hold the fish.
Oh, wow.
So he was like, "I need that stand back."
He's like, "I don't care about the fish."
Yeah, he's like, "I need that stand." I'm like, "Bro,
that was cool."
It was good. Yeah. He's still. Me and him are gonna collaborate and make an exhibition on his woodworks.
Oh.
So he's as good as he was back then.
Yeah, I mean,
he's always been a mentor of mine as a youth growing up, but he still kept that. His stuff is amazing. I can't wait to show you guys.
That's awesome.
But he still keeps it up.
Yeah, and so we had Quetzal went for 5 years. 5 years, right? Yep.
There, and then the one in back of the yards, was it?
Yeah, we had the one in Pilsen, and then we went to the Miracle Center.
Yeah.
And then we did back of the Brighton Park. For 2 years.
Like 2 years.
And then we came over here to West Lawn. And I was 7 months pregnant.
Did we do it once here or twice? No,
once. Yeah, the last one we did over here in 2019. Yep. And I was like, June is the cutoff time period because I'm going to pop this kid out. So we got to get it done before that. Mm-hmm. And that one, I mean, honestly, Heidi, I don't think we would have been able to get it done without Heidi because she came in and she made that part of her job. Mm-hmm. Like she was allowed to help us as part of her whatever community, engagement.
And then we donated that mural to them too. No, the helping hand.
Yep. Yeah, blessing hand.
Blessing hand.
And so
I wrote the thing, but I forgot. I painted it on the thing. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Roho painted a mural alongside a couple other artists that came out to help to get that done. That's on 63rd Street at Los Latinos. What is it called?
Organization.
Latino Organization of the Southwest, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that was, man. And the other thing too is maybe we should do another dark side of Expo. Because of all the people we came across, they were just a-holes, man. Like, or backstabbed us in some way. There's a lot of stuff that happened during that time, too, that made me think completely differently about everything. Mm-hmm. And so I learned so much, right? Like with Expo. Yeah. We learned how to deal with people and market to people and build community and bring people together. Like, we're really good at it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think like going back to like marketing and like outreach, and that was something that I think we always did very well. Mm-hmm. All three of us, like in different areas too. Where I felt like I know I was really proud that we always had like some form of press coverage for every event.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know like me as an artist too, like knowing like oh man, like, you know, like I just want the artist to feel that they're having a spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that they're definitely being like you know,
recognized
and the, you know, that people know about the event so that they can go see their work. So I think that was like I think that was, you know, really important. I think we did that very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did you learn? Like, if you could think of one thing, a couple things, I don't know, from our time with Expo that you carry with you now.
I would say that definitely still kind of the outreach component is something that I think like I know I learned a lot from that.
Mm-hmm.
But also like the importance of having like a vision, you know, having a clear vision. I know we work really fast and really hard to put a lot of our exhibits and events together, but I do think that like, yeah, definitely like knowing like, hey, we're doing Q Fest, this is what it's about, kind of being able to like summarize our projects in a really like, you know, 2 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
I think we also got to practice public speaking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, some of us were better than others, but like I know that is an ongoing practice for me, like challenge. And also like even like we did a workshop series.
Oh, but that's right.
You
The
know?
exchange.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So on top of the fests.
Wow.
I think I sometimes, especially like because we, you know, like Roho and I too have like, you know, we're dedicated artists. Like we've had a lot of years of doing all sorts of different types of art projects and events. So like kind of going back and thinking about Expo and all the different things we did, from like art exhibits to exchange is essentially a professional development, you know, workshop series catered towards artists. And also like, you know, a large spanning mural festival. So we were always
We're doing all that.
doing all these different things. And it was just us three, and usually we were like the face for it. We had to talk to people. We had to be willing to talk to people fast. Like we might be at a networking event, and like in the span of like a few seconds or minutes, like, hey, let's go talk to this person because, you know, we want them to find out about our events and maybe partner up or something. You know?
Where was it where I think Christina challenged us to be like, okay, don't come back until you've spoken to like 4 people at an event. What event was it? We were dressed up or something, and you were like, don't come back until you got the names and companies of these people, like these people, whatever. And we're like,
Was that when we went
Rick
to,
and I looked at each other like, fuck, like
I don't remember
guess.
that one.
Was that in Grand Rapids?
I think so. I think so.
Maybe.
But we were just, I have a photo of that. But I remember, I don't know why. Like, I'm like, oh, I can do this. But I'm like, I look at you, I'm like, I don't even talk to people, man. Like, but this is like growing EXPO Collective stuff.
Party, right?
This is my crash course in business.
I'm like, I'm not here for this. No, but it was great. Like, going back to what you said, like, being networking, being able to talk, and you know, the other side, the business side of being an entrepreneur or artist in general. Just,
and I think like I think we all had like our like kind of like our strengths, you know. Like I knew like I don't know that I was like the best speaker.
No, but you were the connection to all the artists.
You know,
you were like the
like I could talk to people. I just
you were the connector.
You were the connector. You were the what would you call you now? I'm like trying to think of like a title. No. It's like artist advocate, maybe. Basically, because you always had the artists in mind, like what they were gonna think, how they were gonna drop off, what they were like. You literally you were always thinking about the artist, for the artist, like in their favor. So I would call you like you were the artist advocate. You literally like we'd be like, Rick, we need to fill these walls, and he would bring in like 20 artists, you know, and people that I didn't know, and it was always like, Rick, are you gonna be there because I don't know who these people are. You know, and we were learning about them and their artwork as they were walking through the door, but you had already made those connections with them.
And I think that was also, again, going back to like when I did a lot of pop-ups, like I would partner up with friends or artists that would meet along the way. So it was just like, I don't know that I can promise that they'll make a sale, but I want them to at least feel that like their event is well known, that people know to go there. So hopefully a sale does happen for them, or they make that connection that they want to make.
But even then, we weren't about money.
No,
right?
Yeah,
and
we
so,
didn't
like,
take anything.
We didn't take anything from the artist ever.
No.
And we were kind of like, come in, bring prints of your stuff, because you don't know if people are going to pay $500 for your piece, but they will pay $10 for a print. And I remember one guy, I forget his name, but he brought a bunch of prints. And he walked out with like $400 in his pocket. And I was like, good for you, dude. And, you know, and it was like, because he did what we told him to. And it was like, if you're planning to survive off your art, you have to think about how you're going to make money, you know? And that was one thing that, and I think a lot of people were still too young for us to like bring out the professional development, even though we did do it, you know, for a cohort. Yeah. And then we did it at the American Academy of Art for a couple sessions. Like, it was still like they were still too young to think kind of like where we were, where we were trying to get them to go. Yeah, I just remember talking about goals at the American Academy of Art, and they're like, "What are goals? Like, how do we set goals?" And I was like, "What? What do you mean? What are you gonna do when you get out of here? You know, like, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? Right?" And like, to not be thinking about that as college kids was like that blew my mind. And so I was like, there's more of a challenge here than I even thought, you know, that we were going to come into. And so that was the other thing too, is like, we knew that there was a need for professional development among artists. Yeah.
And you know, I know like when we kind of first started too with EXPO, like I know in my own experience, like always like feeling like kind of scared to ask like, how do you price your artwork? Or where can I find work as an artist? Like I felt like not a lot of people were kind of open to that conversation, and maybe it wasn't me asking direct enough, but I felt like through EXPO we wanted to be approachable about like how do you get an exhibition, or you know, how should I price my artwork, or any number of these different things, like for you to like just be working artist or professional artist. But I knew like we learned only so much in art school, but let's say like if I was doing a mural on the side of a building, the art school that I went to didn't teach me how to price or how to work in that capacity. They mentioned it, but they didn't tell you. Gave you no formula.
Yeah, I think it from my recollection of having one class about entrepreneurship, but it was very open-ended. It was very much like
it was really broad.
It was broad. It's like, oh, you could do this or you could do that, but there was no specifics. And that's going back to what EXPO Collective was. We've done shows separately and then together, and then learning how to price. Like we learned that on the street, like literally. And I feel like that was at the time where older from my experience, older generation, older graffiti writers or muralists, very kept it to themselves. It was at that point in social media was popping off, Facebook and all that stuff was really popping off, and I think we were like starting to open up about having an open conversation about that type of thing. How we do it, it might be different, but this is how we do it. At least there's a conversation happening, versus like, you know, being told nothing. Like learn on your own. Like that's at least that was my background. Like.
Yeah, like I did it this way. You can do it. You can do it too. Like if I figured it out, like, you could figure it out. Yeah,
and I think that's what I loved about EXPO. Not only the shows that we put together, but going back to what you were saying, Rick, how other artists put their work together and how their experience as an artist is versus what ours was, and
And I feel like it became more of a thing. I think with Q-Fest with Gonzalez, because. That's when we wanted to show the brushstrokes. Remember, like that was that was the goal. It was to allow people to see how murals were created, what goes into, you know, creating these huge works of art. And then with the workshops, it was showing people that they can be artists, right? Like you can do this too. All you have to do is sit down and focus and take your time with it. And each workshop had a dedicated artist to teach somebody how to do something.
Yeah.
And they were able to take that home with them, and they weren't paying for that either. So it was lending yourself to being open and vulnerable and saying like, yeah, what I do is because of my dedication, but it's not because it's a special thing. Like anybody can do it. Right. And I just remember one of the second Quetzal Fest that we did in Brighton Park, where we had, oh my God, Shannon Downey. Yes, Shannon Downey.
Look at that memory.
Wow.
And
she does Crosstitch. And so I remember her sitting there, and they had, what she was doing with everybody for that workshop was a banner, and it was going to be for a march or something, like a protest. And so everyone was sewing a letter, and like this one, she was a mom, you know, like Latina mom sitting there, and she's like, mira lo que hice. She was just so proud of like what she had done. And I was like, this is what it's about, you know, like it was about just bringing people together to show them they can create too. Like creativity is not limited to just the people that know how to do it well. Yeah. It's everybody's, right? And that's when we were giving away free hot dogs, and it was wonderful. Like,
yeah, forgot it. Yeah,
and all that artwork. Like, I stole a piece. I have one, but that was my payment. That was my payment. I would take pieces from the art fest, but like those pieces stayed in the in SGA Youth and Family Services, like youth room. So they got to enjoy all the artwork that was there. But yeah, like those were like some of the best times where you see people that are like leaving with what they created, and they're so happy with it, you know, even the little kids.
Yeah, that was another thing that I really loved about Q-Fest was the workshops. Because like, and also like, I also was okay and happy if it was just someone stopping by for 5 minutes to do the craft that they wanted to do, and then take it with them and leave, and someone else would come by. Yeah, like I was happy with that part to it, because I know like sometimes workshops can feel a little bit like school. Some people like school, some people get intimidated by school. I think it's always nice whenever it's like an outside community event where it's like, do the thing that you like, and then you can walk whenever you're ready to go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Man. We did some incredible work, y'all. And that's when Roho came by a couple weeks ago, and I was like, we never really had a closure to EXPO Collective. Like, never really sat down and really think about everything that we had done.
Yeah.
It's too sad. No, I think it was, you're totally right. I think we talked briefly about it on occasion, but it wasn't like this is, very much on closure for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what it's like to be here, right? Like, we did all of this stuff, and now, like, I've been saying, sometimes with work, you know, like, with work or other things where you're being asked to do something that's, like, out of your element or something different or pushed to be more creative. I don't know, whatever language they want to use. Yeah. But then I think about Expo, and I'm like, done. Done. I can make magic, you know, happen, right? Like, I can create something out of nothing. And I can do it for cheap, right? Like, we had no resources, you know? And we
mostly
we had each other.
Your resources were my resources, and your resources were my resources. I think that's what it was. And we knew how much hard work you put into it. You put it, you know, so it was like, there was no doubt that whatever we came up with would work, be successful, and you know, a little different each time we did it too.
And I think also we planned a lot behind the scenes. Like, even like, say if we go back to think about Exchange or any of the Q Fests, like we would have multiple meetings throughout the year to kind of put together our ideas.
Rojo's whiteboard. Yeah. That's where a lot of, I was like, this is the business. This is how we're going to build it. These are all the things that there was a ton of work.
But I also think that, like, it was also all of us at a very specific time. Because I know I have a lot of memories of going with you to many events to network. Yeah. And we would either meet people that, like, might, like, we could partner with or work in some way. Or just a new idea would spark. Or maybe we would kind of get to hear other people in the audience kind of validating our own ideas for something that maybe we were creating behind the scenes. So, like, I mean, internally, that was like professional development for us, you know?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think that was like everything, the stars lining up, like because we were in proximity to each other, a lot in those times.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we're always together. And then
Yeah.
Roho and I would have brainstorming sessions. Like, literally, it was like the middle of the night, and it's like, okay, what's next, or how do we make this happen, or who do we talk to, right?
Yeah.
Like, where's that connection point that we need? And it's funny. And yesterday there was something that my sister said, because I have an idea for the podcast, right? And so I put an idea out there, and that person was like, yes, we can do this. And my sister was like, oh, didn't you talk to your other friend? And I was like, why would I talk to anybody else? And she was like, I don't know, just to like run the idea. And I'm like, no. I'm like, what? No, I go to the person that's going to make the decision. Like, I throw it out there, yes or no. And they say yes. Okay, let's go. Make it happen. Like, and I'm like, that comes from all of that experience of like, I have an idea. I want to see it through. How do I get it done? And I think that like that just gave me more confidence to be like, I was doing it the right way. Like the whole time we were doing it the right way.
Yeah. And I think again, just like having been working together at that specific time, we were very conditioned like athletes, so iron sharpens iron, like because we were working together, if we want to say firing on all cylinders, like we kept each other sharp, So it's like, you got to a certain point, like you're like, it almost felt like autopilot. It wasn't, but you could imagine that maybe it felt like autopilot because we were challenging each other and like got very refined.
Oh, I could definitely see that. Definitely.
Which is probably something I wouldn't have ever imagined was important. Working in a team in that it was a small team, right. But by being a small team, we had more input,
Yeah.
More to gain. If we were a team of 40, it might have gotten watered down.
I know. And what's interesting is that the other day I was thinking about it and I was like, I work in trios.
Oh.
And I'm like, I have like my best friends from kindergarten and first grade. There's 3 of us, right? Yeah. Like us here, EXPO Collective, there's 3 of us. Like people that I work with, there's 3. Like it's weird, but that's like, Rule I don't 3. Know. And somebody was like, the Trinity. And I was like, you want to make it religious? Let's go. It's divine. Okay. It's divine, but it works, and I don't know what it is, and I was like, I think we only got into one spat. Like we would debate on things, but like there was only one time I thought I like could remember that we got into any kind of beef and it wasn't even that serious, and it was, I don't think that that's common.
Yeah.
Because usually, like, every other time I tried something with other people, it never lasted, Because we would always get into... Yeah. Everybody had an opinion. Everybody... It was conflicting. So, there's something about the 3s.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this is going to be my first bonus episode.
Oh.
So, we're going to let it roll, and whoever knows us, knows us. No, I'm just kidding. Rick, you haven't been on the podcast yet, so you should introduce yourself. I made Roho introduce himself.
Oh, okay. I'm Ricardo Gonzalez. I'm a artist. I draw and paint. I mentioned that because there's so many different art forms, but those are the ones that I like to do the most personally. I've been doing art probably. Well, we graduated in what? Well, actually, I graduated before you. 2005. Many years before you. I've been drawing since I was a little kid, but yeah, I went to art school, so I've been very serious about being an artist, and I've been doing that for a while. Yeah.
I know we're all a year apart. You know that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Rick, Roho, and then me. I'm the baby.
No, I know. Like I'm a few years. I didn't.
Just 2.
Know
just
that
2.
In the water.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you guys for your time. If there's anybody I can depend on, it's you 2. All right. And to all my listeners, I hope you enjoy this because I had a lot of fun reminiscing, going back, and just talking about how amazing we are. And if you ever need some artists or, event coordinators, we got you. So we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, this is Kiki. If you made it this far, you officially made it to the end of the episode. Thanks for being here. If you're listening on a platform where you can rate and subscribe, please do. It really helps more people find the show. And hey, leave a comment. Tell me what you liked, what stuck with you, and what you want more of. You can also follow the podcast on Instagram at What It's Like to Be Here Pod. Catch you on the flip side.